good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here as the Hersheys Cup Series non-charter series as well as the Pizza Deck Series take an off week, and we get set to have only our Hersheys Cup Series main event here this weekend. This is race number 15 of the season for the Hersheys Cup Series Season 4 as we continue on our chase towards the chase for the Hersheys Cup Series Championship. We are here under the lights at maybe one of the most historic racetracks on the circuit, the Lady in Black, known as Darlington Raceway. This is a tire eater, and a lot of drivers don't leave this track without a little souvenir from the Lady in Black, a Darlington stripe on the right side of their machine, as usually turns 2 and 4. It's so tight here that if you run just wide enough, you're going to go up and you're going to brush that outside wall. On the pole for this evening's race is going to be Brooke Allen. Talk about a driver who really needs a good run. Brooke Allen was up inside of the top 5 for a good portion of the start of this season, but bad luck has struck that 3-car last few weeks, and she finds herself now mired 19th in the point standing, still looking for her first career win here this year as a rookie. Alongside of her is going to be Blaine Keys. There's another driver that actually is looking for a good run. Blaine finds himself coming into this race currently mired down in the point standings at 30th place. He had a good run going last week at Charlotte, but got involved in a wreck and actually barrel rolled in turn 4. He's looking for his first win of the season, a former chaser last year in the 42. Brandon Gonzales and Sean Gallighan, they're going to make up row 2. They're both looking for their first wins of the season, and one of our 2 defending winners of this race, Jessica Shelton, will complete the top 5. She won at this event back in season 2. As a matter of fact, the defending winner of this race, rolling off right behind her, Tim Walch, won this event 1 year ago. The other driver that won at this event is Kian Eddington back in season 1, but he is not in tonight's field. And tonight's field is not 42 cars, it's 35 because we didn't have a Hersheys Cup Series qualifying non-charter race. Let's go down and get the command.
Drivers, start your engines!
56 laps of racing here this evening, so this is certainly going to be an interesting one. Completion of lap 15 is the end of stage 1, completion of lap 30 the end of stage 2, and the checkered flag at the completion of lap 56 is the end of the third and final stage. Points coming into this race, the 2-timers up atop the point standings. Tweenix Racing driver Dylan Poteet with the points lead, 29 points over last week's winner from Charlotte, James McCloud, who picked up his second win of the season, second win of his career as a matter of fact as well. Anthony McCrury is third in the points. He's 31 points out of the top spot. Joshua Michaels is fourth. He's 44 points back, and Trent Dunham is fifth in the standings. He is 46 points back from Dylan Poteet. The rest of the top 10, the points coming to this race, are Levi McIntyre in 6th, Cody Llamas in 7th, J Arndt is 8th, Zachary Fitzwater 9th, and Brandon Gonzales in 10th. We're going to just look at the rear of the field, and we did have a car that did not get going at the start, and that is Emmanuel Hartnett in the 83. We'll have to see if he's able to at least get onto the racetrack and log some laps here this evening. Drivers that we mentioned that are winners so far this season in the top 10, obviously Poteet and McCloud, as well as McCrury, Dunham, and J Arndt. And outside of the top 10, winners that right now would hold chase spots if the chase were to begin right now, Charles Sandfer, he's 11th in points, G Sydnor is 15th, J Bryant is 16th, and M Haas in 22nd with L Alvarise really close to that danger zone. He's 27th in the points coming into tonight's race. But here we go, 56 laps of racing. Let's see what we're in store for as we're getting set for the Mountain Dew Southern 500 to go green. Just waiting for the ticker to update itself here, and it looks like 2 cars actually didn't get to the green flag. Hartnett was 1, and the other was Benjamin Miles, who I'm guessing came to pit road just when we were going green. Hartnett never even rolled off pit road. Tough break for both those drivers. Hartnett 29th in points, Benjamin Miles 34th in points. Both drivers could ill afford a poor run here this evening. And it looks like their Darlington evening not going to get off to a good start at all. Brooke Allen out in front. And I'll tell you the 2 drivers I would watch out for right there, 4th and 5th, Shelton and Walsh. Former winners at this racetrack. They know what Darlington brings to the table. As a matter of fact, Darlington back in season 2 was Jessica Shelton's first career Hersheys Cup Series victory. That got her into the Season 2 chase. She made the Season 3 chase last year by winning at Daytona, another track that we're going to be coming up to very soon in the near future. She will now move to 3rd. Battle for the lead may be on. Brooke Allen having a rear deck lid almost full of the U.S. Army Chevrolet of Blaine Keys. And you can bet as we get closer to lap 15, lap 30, that's when the battle for the lead's really going to heat up, because these drivers want those 10 valuable bonus points, which could be oh so crucial into who's going to be making it into the chase for the championship when we get close to the end of the regular season. Looks like Emmanuel Hartnett will return to the racetrack, that Dustless Blasters Toyota Camry out of Fire Ice Racing. But he's going to have to hope that some drivers encounter some problems here, as he's already, I believe, at least 3, maybe 4 laps down to the leaders. So, like I said, he's really going to have to hope that this is a race of attrition, but right now it's not really looking like that. Thought we were going to have a battle for the lead, but right now Blaine Keys seems pretty content to ride behind Brooke Allen. Jessica Shelton trying to catch up, and then you got a good battle going on back here, just outside the top 5. It's actually for the 5th position, actually. Sean Gallighan taking the spot away from Brandon Gonzales, and then right behind them, got Levi McIntire having a great run there, guy who came in 6th in the point standings, and then behind him, Joshua Michaels, who is the highest running driver in the point standings without a win so far this season. He's 4th in the points, so it's been a very consistent season for him, and he's trying to find victory lane for the 3rd time in his career. He's got 2 wins, one back in season 2 at Pocono, one back in season 1 rather, that is, at Pocono, and one back in season 2 at Auto Club. Another driver that's running well in the point standings right there, K Llamas. Great run last week after he actually got involved in a wreck in the closing stages, but still managed to finish the night out in the top 10 at Charlotte, and he's 7th in the point standings. K Llamas was a former chaser last season. He's currently over a year long on a winless streak. His last win coming last season at Dover. We were at Dover about 4 or 5 weeks ago. So K Llamas working on roughly about a 40-41 race winless streak at this current point in time, trying to hold off Anthony McCrury, Daytona 500 winner and All-Star race winner this season, currently situated right behind Llamas, and that would be, I believe, in the 12th position. Having a good run right now in that Ford and trying to gain some ground on the Tweenix Racing boys. Only 2 points behind James McCloud, who won last week at Charlotte, but he is 31 points behind Dylan Poteet. Move back up to the front. Top 3 now are nose to tail. Allen, Keys, and Shelton all looking for their first win of the season. As a matter of fact, you got to go... actually, you can look through the entire top 10. All these drivers are still looking for their first wins of the year. And like I said, right now, if the chase were to start, 10 slots would be taken by race winners this season. That means there are 6 spots currently that are open to drivers that have an opportunity to make it in on points. If the chase were to begin, those 6 drivers, if I can count them here, would be Joshua Michaels, Levi McIntyre, K Llamas, Zachary Fitzwater, Brandon Gonzales, and Nathan Hudson would actually get the final spot if the chase were to start now. But obviously there's a long ways to go in this season. We're only on race 15, which means there's still 11 more races after this to set up who those 16 drivers are going to be. Right now, Brooke Allen enjoying the view, and she may end up having some different company for second place, because Shelton is now reeled in Blaine Keys, and she's going to try and take the runner-up position. Darlington, South Carolina's famed racetrack, the home track of Jessica Shelton, so of course her first career Hershey's Cup Series win was a special one. And she would love to be able to become the first repeat winner at this famed racetrack, as sounds like we may have some traffic to deal with. That's Benjamin Miles. Miles is 3 laps down, as is Emmanuel Hartnett. They're battling for 34th place right now on track, the only 2 cars off the lead lap. Also noticed they're running 33rd, last car in the lead lap, is Dylan Poteet. There he is, the points leader, not having a good run here tonight. At least not for the moment, as he right now has the lap machine of Emmanuel Hartnett behind him. That wouldn't be for position, but trying to see, let's look and see if we can get a camera angle to see the right side of Poteet's machine. Did he perhaps get a Darlington stripe? Because one thing about Darlington, this wall in particular, it just sucks you in. You can't get off of it once you've brushed it. And it kills a lot of your momentum, makes you lose a lot of ground and a lot of speed. No, right side looks good there from that camera view. Brooke Allen has caught Benjamin Miles, and Miles is not a slow race car. He is up to speed. That has wadded up the top 3. Allen, Keys, and Shelton. This could get very interesting if someone's able to get a little dicey and make a move. And how interesting it is that this is happening just nearing the completion of stage 1. Next time by, when they hit the line, it'll be technically the white flag for the first stage. Next time by after that will be the completion of stage 1, and the first driver to cross the line gets 10 valuable bonus points. Brooke Allen going to dive to the inside of Benjamin Miles, make the hole. Lane Keys and Jessica Shelton will follow her. So it looks like Brooke Allen makes the move that's going to possibly give her the 10 bonus points she needs here of winning the first stage. Also should point out too, 56 laps, and these drivers I know for certain cannot make it 56 laps on one tank of fuel. So this thing is looking like it's settling into a long green flag run, which means that it could be pit strategy that wins the night for one of these drivers. Brooke Allen, you see there, winning the first stage. Lane Keys, Jessica Shelton, McCrury, Gardner, Cole Baker, along with Srigley, McIntyre, Brandon Gonzales, and M Haas will complete your top 10. How about Cole Baker? Good run there for that driver, Rookie of the Year last year. Cole Baker is actually 21st in the point standings. I've been noticing him the last couple of weeks. This team has all of a sudden seemed to come to life. Their finishes have been much more consistent. So we'll have to see what he's going to be able to do here this evening. Just ahead of him, Johnny Gardner. I had an interesting question posed to me on Facebook a couple of days ago, asking who are the drivers from Season 1 that have yet to pick up their first career win. Those 3 drivers that I looked up are Johnny Gardner, Seth Cole, and John Cittadino. Now, Seth Cole and John Cittadino out of Furniture Row Racing, not in this event tonight because of the fact we didn't have a Hershey's Cup Series non-charter race this weekend, but Johnny Gardner, right now running in the 5th position, could he maybe work out some pit strategy this evening to get his first career Hershey's Cup Series victory? Nice to see Joseph Srigley having a good run here, a back-to-back winner at Lime Rock and Zenjoltis last season. This season, though, things have not gone well for that Pepsi Exaltus Chevy. He currently finds himself 35th of the 35 chartered rides. So he is, you can bet, on a mission to get himself up at least into the top 30 in the point standings, and of course try to find victory lane as well, for what I believe would be the 4th time in his career. And here comes Srigley to pit road. I told you they were going to have to pit. Blaine Keys is also in the 42. Now my question is, are these drivers short pitting, thinking they can make it the rest of the way? Caitlin Tsang in. Her 2nd career chartered start. Trent Dunham is in, and it looks like that was our points leader Dylan Poteet has also hit the pit road. Brooke Allen stays out another lap, and here comes Shelton to pit road, giving up the 2nd position. McCrury, Gardner, Baker, they're in. Some other drivers staying out there. Tim Walsh is in. A little bit of damage there. A little bit of, looks like some left side damage to Levi McIntyre as he comes in along with McCloud, J Arndt, Kyle Mathews, Baskinger. I see Hudson back there, Flickinger. And now, are they forcing the hand of Brooke Allen? They are. Brooke Allen's got to come to pit road this time. M Haas and Brandon Gonzales, they're in. L Alvarise will be coming in this time as well, as is Joshua Michaels. Keith Batson's in. Fitzwater's in. And I believe these are the last of the drivers that need to come to pit lane. So let's follow the 3 car if we can find her. There she is. Oh! Was there contact right there between Tim Walsh and Levi McIntyre? I couldn't tell. There might have been. So Brooke Allen in the 3. Gonna have to see where she comes off pit road in relation to Jessica Shelton and Blaine Keys. Keys came in on lap 20. Shelton on lap 21. Allen on lap 22. Brooke Allen down and away. McIntyre coming out not too far behind her. So it looks like they didn't spend a lot of time working on the damage on that 99 car. Or did they? Maybe they did, actually. Maybe that's why he's coming out behind Brooke Allen, because I think he came down pit road a lap earlier than Brooke Allen did. And it looks like Brooke will come out as the race leader, but it looks like we have a new 2nd place car in Jessica Shelton. Right there, coming off turn 4. And at the line, it is indeed Brooke Allen, the race leader. Shelton is in second, trying to reel in that Taco Bell Chevrolet. Blaine Keys now is in third, and yes, McIntyre is a lap down. They spent a little extra time repairing that left side damage we saw, and now he's off the lead lap. McCrury is now in fourth with Gardner in fifth, so those positions didn't change. Baker still in sixth. J Arndt is now in seventh. Eighth place Joseph Srigley. Caitlin Tsang is up to ninth. Now looking for 8th place off of Srigley. And completing your top 10 would be Matt Haas there, who's trying to hold off Trent Dunham and last week's winner, James McCloud. Good run right now for Caitlin Tsang. Of course, Caitlin making her second start as a chartered ride, our Eldora race winner, trying to get herself up to the top 30 in the point standings and having a great run right now, currently in the top 10. New leader, Jessica Shelton, getting around Brooke Allen. Shelton trying to double down. Now the question I was going to ask here when they made the pit stops, and I don't believe I said it, was were these drivers short pitting expecting they were going to be able to make it the rest of the way now, or is this only the first of 2 pit stops they're going to have to make? I mean, everybody came down pit road between laps 20 to 22, which according to my calculations means if that was as far as they could go, they're going to have to pit again somewhere between laps 44 to 46. That's between 10 to 12 laps to go. So this may not have been the only pit stop they have to make. Not necessarily sure what the fuel window is. All I knew was that they were not going to be able to make it the entire 56 laps on 1 tank of fuel. Now we got to see if they're going to be able to make it 34 to 36 laps on fuel. Actually 32 to 34 laps, I should say, based on when they came to pit road. Shelton out in front. She comes into this race 28th in the point standings. That's a driver that really needs a good run. As a matter of fact, it's been so interesting looking at the point standings in comparison with certain teams. You look at Retro Racing Enterprises. You got Charles Sandfer, already an early win this season at Las Vegas. Kyle Mathews, defending champion, struggling in the point standings, as well as Jessica Shelton. Mathews 23rd, Shelton in 28th. You look at other teams like Michael Norman Motorsports. You've got T Walch, Nathan Hudson. They're 12th and 13th in points, but Brooke Allen is down in 19th in the standings. You've got Seth Cole Baker Motorsports with Anthony McCurry having a great run, 3rd in the standings. But then you look at drivers that are teammates of his, like Cole Baker. He's mired down in the 21st position. It's amazing how these teams, it fluctuates between drivers that are having good seasons and drivers that are having poor seasons. There's really no team out there, maybe with the possible exception of Twinix Racing, where all their drivers are having a really good year. Maybe the only other team that I could possibly see fitting into that spectrum might be AS Racing, with J Arndt 8th in the standings, Jake Baskinger 14th, and Garrett Sydnor 15th. 2 of those drivers with trips to victory lane this season. But aside from that, it's kind of, you see one driver that's doing well, the other driver is not doing well. Right now, Brooke Allen seeming content to ride behind Jessica Shelton, maybe saving her stuff. I mean, think about this here. If they did not make their last pit stop, Brooke Allen, who came to pit road a lap later than Shelton did, she could be saving some fuel, allowing Shelton to kind of break the draft there, and Brooke Allen may be able to save some fuel just riding in Shelton's tire tracks. Shelton has won at least 1 race each season since Season 2. Season 2 at this track at Darlington, Season 3 at Daytona. She'd love to become the first repeat winner here at the Darlington Raceway. This is right now the battle, 1st and 2nd. The battle actually for 3rd. Blaine Keys had 3rd for a good portion of this race, and now he has dropped back to 5th. McCrury is now up to 3rd, Gardner up to 4th, so this is the battle for the final podium spot at this moment. And I'll tell you what, don't look now. We know Dylan Poteet's had a pretty rough evening, but his teammate James McCloud, he is up there in the 8th position right now, hounding J Arndt. And he is in the top 10, and as we mentioned, Dylan Poteet with not the best of runs this evening. Well, he's not going to want to hear this. McCloud is in the top 10, as is Dunham and McCrury, 3 drivers that are trying to run him down for the points lead. McCrury 3rd, McCloud 8th, Dunham right now in 10th. And we have all 35 cars still running. They're McIntyre, the first car a lap down. Hartnett is 3 laps down. Miles is 4 laps down. And as mentioned, D Poteet currently running in the 32nd position. Last car in the lead lap. Battle for the lead is on. Brooke Allen trying to get to the inside of Jessica Shelton, but I think Levi McIntire may have actually played spoiler in that. With him staying up on the high side there going down the straightaway, it gave a bit of a bubble push to the Tampa Bay Rays Chevrolet and allowed Shelton to keep the top position going into turn 1. There is Poteet trying to gain any positions he can. K Tellier up ahead, Chris Dodd, but a lot of ground he's got to make up. As a matter of fact, Poteet may get lapped before he can catch Chris Dodd for that position. Look at this, side by side with Brooke Allen, and the lap machine of Levi McIntire is allowing Jessica Shelton to drive away, at least for the moment, which is not necessarily a good thing because we saw how quickly Jessica Shelton reeled Brooke Allen in after pit stops and easily made the pass. I mean, these are CTS physics. The draft is key here at a track like this. And Shelton used it after the pit stops had cycled around. And now with this gap, if Allen and McIntire stick together, Brooke Allen could have a heck of a run going down the back straightaway. Well, actually down the front straightaway, I should say here. And again, like I stated, oh, wait a minute, before I get on to that note, we may have this battle for the lead on here in turn 1. And no, the move is not going to be made by Brooke Allen, at least this time. We're getting into that fuel window. If they could only make it 20 to 22 laps, we're getting close to lap 40. And we may end up seeing some drivers starting to dive to pit road. As a matter of fact, I think one of them might have already gone there. I think Blaine Keys has already been on to pit road. Oh no, he hasn't. He just dropped out of the top 10. I noticed he wasn't in the top 10, and I thought maybe he's already come to the pit lane, but nope, that's not the case. Anthony McCrury now getting freight trained. He was 3rd a moment ago. Now he's going to cross the line somewhere around the 8th position, it looks like. So he got freight trained, and now Johnny Gardner is going to get freight trained. Cole Baker is moving his way up with J Arndt. They move now to 3rd and 4th. Matter of fact, these drivers might be getting caught. Shelton, Allen, and McIntyre, as they're battling amongst themselves, I think they're getting reeled in. This thing may not be over. I think they're being caught. They are. Oh my goodness. That time by, that second group gained about half a second on these 3 race cars, and they're still side by side, Allen, McIntyre, and that's going to continue to allow J Arndt, Cole Baker, Trent Dunham to reel them in. Last time by, it was about little less than 3 seconds separation between Allen back to Arndt. Let's see what it is this time. It was 2.94. This time, 2.48. Oh boy. And we got a car up ahead. That's D Poteet, who, ironically enough, this would actually be a battle for position between him and Levi McIntire. If McIntyre can get to him, that'd be a battle for 32nd. And now pit stops are going to shake everything up. Shelton's to pit road. Giving up the race lead, J Arndt is in. Cole Baker, Trent Dunham, Gardner, Caitlin Tsang. That turns the race lead back over to the pole sitter Brooke Allen. And this is right within that fuel window. Like I said, laps 40 to 42 was going to be around the time they would have to pit if it was only about a 20 to 22. Oh, someone blew up. L Alvarise. L Alvarise has blown up. No caution, though. And Brooke Allen now onto pit lane. James McCloud is in, and that will turn the lead over, it looks like, to M Haas in the 78. He's going to stay out an extra lap. L Alvarise, the slide for the Aaron's Dream Machine continues. Mechanical problem for him. And it looks like he'll finish out the evening, possibly dead last. See if M Haas going to come to pit road this time. That's the first lap he's led tonight. Nope, he's staying out an extra lap, it looks like. Oh, nope, he's not. He's just going to come down and make his pit stop through the turns 3-4 area of the track, and Joshua Michaels also stayed out. There's Shelton coming off pit road. Now we have to see where she cycles around in relation to Brooke Allen. J Arndt, Cole Baker. If they start getting wadded up, they might be able to do something in the closing stages. Shelton crossed the line that time, still outside the top 10. We're still waiting for the ticker to update itself. There's McCloud. There is Brooke Allan. Allan's going to get out. Ahead, behind Jessica Shelton. Now we got to look for the 78 of M Haas. Did he get a pit stop fast enough to put him into the race lead here after the cycle of pit stops? We still have roughly 14 laps to go. It ain't over. And it looks like M Haas just got bypassed. So it will cycle the lead back around to Jessica Shelton. Brooke Allan will be in second. J Arndt now up there in third. Fourth place is going to be McCloud. Baker in fifth. Haas will slot in sixth. Battle on for seventh between McCrury and Gardner. Ninth place is now going to be Benjamin Miles, and 10th place J Baskinger, but that's a battle going on here. Trent Dunham will take it, move Baskinger back to 11th, maybe back to 12th as K Tsang looking for the 11th spot. And now, J Arndt puts his name up here into the picture. He picked up his first career win a couple of weeks ago at Kansas, looking for his second career win of the season, as he and Brooke Allan trying to reel in Jessica Shelton. They are going to have to deal with D Poteet more than likely before all is said and done, so this could get very interesting as there's going to be 11 laps to go. Next time by hitting the stripe. Still a long ways to go in this one. Anything can happen. Shelton looking for her first win of the season. Brooke Allan looking for her first win of her career. And J Arndt trying to play spoiler and lock himself up a spot in the chase for the championship, joining D Poteet and J McCloud as a two-time winner this season. Here they come catching D Poteet. Question is, where are they going to catch him? Shelton wants to catch him on a straightaway rather than in a corner, that's for certain. Might be able to get a run on him down this straightaway. Nope, not quite close enough. 10 laps to go, and Brooke Allan to the bottom for the race lead. J Arndt trying to follow in the tire tracks and move into second. Hasn't got Shelton cleared yet. Still doesn't. Might get her here into three, and he will. So J Arndt moves to second. Shelton now finds herself going from the lead, now back into the third position. And those pit stops really messed some things up for McCloud, Cole Baker, and others. They are now losing ground to the top three. Before they were all wadded up, and they were in a nice tight formation, reeling in the top two at the time, which were Shelton and Brooke Allan, and now McCloud's losing ground, Baker's losing ground. It may be these three to settle it out. Brooke Allan going to have to deal with D Poteet. Poteet, on the other hand, enjoying this draft because now he's on the back bumper of Chris Dodd, and that is for position for D Poteet. With the bad run he's having, every position is a point, so you can bet Poteet's going to fight that 88 car here in the closing stages. But meanwhile, it's holding up Brooke Allan, J Arndt, and bringing Jessica Shelton back into the picture. Poteet ducks to the inside on Chris Dodd. Chris Dodd not going to be giving it up. And look at this, Brooke Allan sticks to the high side. J Arndt's going to switch lanes. He's going to the bottom for the lead. He will put Chris Dodd a lap down, and he will go to the point. And now Shelton trying to take the second position away from Brooke Allan. Now she'll bypass Chris Dodd. And now it's J Arndt trying to hold off Jessica Shelton, with the car of D Poteet still just up ahead. How about J Baskinger? Teammate there to the 05. He's currently now up in the 8th spot. He's all of a sudden got his presence felt in the closing stages of this race. Shelton trying to reel in J Arndt. J Arndt, 8th in the point stands, has undoubtedly been the best start to a season in his career, and he may be en route to his second win of the season. Brooke Allan still having some difficulty getting by Chris Dodd. I don't know if that might take her out of the picture for this win. We'll have to see. About a car length and a half separation between J Arndt and Jessica Shelton. Still that car of D Poteet up ahead. J Arndt gets a nice run there through the center of the corner out of 3 and 4. He'd love to be able to put a lap machine, an up-to-speed lap machine, between himself and Jessica Shelton, but Shelton's so close. I think if J Arndt made a move on Poteet, Shelton would be there to fill in the hole and move on by Poteet as well. Getting down to the nitty-gritty, Shelton takes a peek to the bottom going into 3, and it will work. She's going to get alongside J Arndt, at least for the moment. Now we have to see where the draft works here on this straightaway. At the line, Shelton leads that lap, and she will have preferred line going into 1, maybe some contact there between herself and J Arndt, and that's all of a sudden brought Brooke Allen right back up into the picture. Shelton takes the lead with less than 3 to go. J Arndt now slides back to second, Brooke Allen in third, now J Arndt on the attack, Shelton having to play defense. 2 laps to go here at Darlington. It's Shelton, Arndt, Brooke Allen. One of these 3 is going to win this race. The question is, who is it going to be? Shelton's got to do a lot of mirror driving here. Got to stop J Arndt if J Arndt gets a run. In 3 and 4, Shelton catching up to Dylan Poteet again. White flag displayed. Does J Arndt have anything for Shelton? He's going to make a move. It has to be here on the back straightaway. He can't wait any longer past that. Down the back straightaway they go. J Arndt trying to get the run, trying to get the push from Brooke Allen, but he doesn't have enough momentum. Through 3 and 4 for the final time. J Arndt, one last-ditch effort, but I don't think he's going to have enough time. Jessica Shelton will pick up her first win of the season, her second career win at Darlington. Becomes the second Retro Racing Enterprises driver to go to victory lane this season. And as stated, 4 starts at Darlington, 2 trips to victory lane. 50% ain't bad. Shelton kind of recalling the mojo from season 2 where she took her first career checkered flag. And now Jessica Shelton may have herself en route to her third Hersheys Cup Series chase for the championship. A complete green flag race at Darlington. Have you ever heard of that before? Standings are official. Shelton with the win. J Arndt will have to settle for second, but the good finishes for that team just continue in 100-fold. Brooke Allen will finish in third. It was looking like she may end up picking up her first career win, but was not to be. She will finish third for the 3-car. Blaine Keys, great run for him. A nice comeback finish for him in fourth. Back before that second round of pit stops, he was dropping like a rock, fell out of the top 10, comes back for a top 5 finish though. Caitlin Sang, her quest to get into the top 30 in the point stands. A great run for her this evening with a top 5. Anthony McCrury will finish in 6th. Jake Baskinger 7th. James McCloud comes home in 8th after his win last week. Cole Baker, another top 10 run for him in 9th. And Johnny Gardner will complete your top 10. The rest of your top 15 will be Matt Haas, Joshua Michaels, Trent Dunham, Tim Walsh, and Sean Gallighan, with Hudson, Young, Bryant, Sandfer, and Tellier your top 20. As you look on down through the remainder of the finishing results, and obviously the big one that we have to mention is Dylan Poteet finishing the evening in the 30th position. The bad news for him, McCloud, McCrury, Michaels, Dunham, they all had really good runs tonight. That points lead is going to be cut into this evening. I don't know if necessarily we're going to have a new points leader heading into next week, but one thing I do know is that it will be really, really close as far as the points battle heading into next week's race. There's no doubt about that. Everybody finished the race with the exception of L Alvarise. A piston problem, mechanical issues continuing to plague that team, as it's just been a really struggling season, it seems, for that 08 car after his win earlier on in the season. And then we had 4 cars finish off the lead lap. Chris Dodd, Levi McIntyre, Emmanuel Hartnett, and Benjamin Miles. Well, next week, folks, we're going to have the Hersheys Cup Series non-charter cars as well as the Pizza Hut X Series back as we're heading to the desert. Phoenix Raceway is our next stop as we continue on our Hersheys Cup Series chase for the championship as well. Jessica Shelton becomes the 11th different chartered race winner this season. The believe it's 13th different winner this season overall, as she takes the checkered flag here tonight at Darlington Raceway. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's race. If you did, be sure to give us a video like, subscribe, and become part of the crew today. We've shown you full feature results. Up next, it's your rookie points and your overall points heading into next week as Phoenix, as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA, Offline Racing at its best.